Hey guys, what's up? It's Fern. Thank you so much for joining me for another Planty video. Today I am so excited to share with you some of my current favorite plants that I have been swooning over during the month of February, and I also thought I would throw in a couple of Planty products or items. I just thought it'd be fun to kind of start adding that into my favorites videos. But before we get into today's video, we do have a sponsor, and that sponsor is Klima. Climate change is one of the biggest and most serious challenges that we are all facing. I know a lot of us here really care about the earth and the environment and want to take action, but don't necessarily know where to start, and that's where Klima comes in. Klima is an app that helps us offset our carbon footprint. It's actually really cool. You start by roughly calculating what your carbon footprint is by answering a few questions. Then, with an affordable monthly subscription, you choose the ways in which you'd like to offset it by supporting different climate projects. You can plant trees, promote green energy projects, and even support social projects that benefit people around the world. There's also an integrated tracker so you can watch your progress, which I absolutely love. I find tracking things so satisfying. I also love that they provide tips and suggestions on how you can make your lifestyle more sustainable and environmentally friendly, in turn reducing your carbon footprint. Right now, I'm working on shopping less and being a little bit more intentional with my purchases, and Klima has really inspired me to work even harder on that. You can also invite your friends and watch your impact multiply. So I'm inviting you to join me to go carbon neutral with Klima today and have 10 extra trees planted in your name. It's super easy. I will have a link for you to click down below in the description box. You just have to enter my code WILDFERN10, claim your trees, and help me create more awesome content. Let's make our planet a greener place together. Thank you so much to Klima for sponsoring this video. Now let's get into the plants. Okay, you guys, so whenever I choose the plants for these favorites videos, I always think about the plants that I have just been really excited to wake up and check on over the past few weeks, and one of those is definitely my Begonia Gray Feather. I am so in love with this begonia. This is what it looks like. Like, look at how cute. Are you kidding me? There's even a baby leaf coming in right there. Super cute. Now, if you're not familiar with this plant, I haven't shown it a ton. It is pretty new to my collection. This is actually a cutting from Charmaine's plant, Unplant Parenthood. She sent me a Planty care package in December, and this is one of the babies that she kindly sent me. It wasn't too happy after shipping, but honestly, I have pretty good luck with rehabbing begonias after shipping, even if they're stuck in the mail for like quite some time. Like, I find that they are able to bounce back, and that's exactly what happened. So I think it had this one leaf that I propagated it from. Once it rooted up, I potted it, and it's doing super well. It's been growing pretty consistently, always putting out a new leaf. Now, the reason that I really love this begonia is because it has a very verrucosum-esque look. Now, when I first saw Charmaine haul this in one of her videos, I'd never seen it before, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. It's like a verrucosum crossed with a begonia. It definitely more so has that look when it's larger and more mature. Mine is just a baby, but I can see that kind of look coming in. So it's going to be really cool to watch this begonia get larger. And something else that I'm loving about this is that I do not have this growing in my cabinets. I just have it sitting out behind me, actually, on top of that Millsbow wide. It just sits out in regular room humidity, and it's been super happy. So it's not like a terrarium begonia or anything like that. It seems to be very hardy. Yeah, it's just been doing really well, and it's just been one that I have been thrilled to watch grow, and I'm just so relieved that it's doing well. The second plant is my Hoya Chaperty. So this is her. She kind of has this vine hanging down with some leaves on it, and then this is the top of the plant. I have had this plant for maybe a year and a half or 2 years now, and it hasn't done a lot for me. It's grown a little, but it hasn't done a lot. However, recently, like within the past month, I have started spraying this with orchid spray, and it has started taking off for me. Okay, so we have this right here is a new leaf that is still, honestly, still coming in, and this leaf looks like it's going to be pretty darn big. Like I said, it's still growing, but it's already looking amazing. I love it so much. And then we also have a leaf coming in. I don't want to knock any of them. Hoya leaves are so sensitive. We have a leaf coming in right there, and then we also have another where is it? Another leaf coming in right there. If you can see, it's just very small there. Seriously, they're everywhere, you guys. Everywhere that I look on this plant, I'm noticing leaves coming in. Oh, there's another one. Oh no, the same one. This plant also has a ton of peduncles, but none of them have bloomed for me yet. I've never had this plant bloom, so I'm hoping that at least one of them will get activated this spring and I'll get some blooms on it. That would just be so cool. I love when my Hoyas bloom, when any of my plants bloom. Is honestly like, it just makes me so happy. It's one of the most exciting things about growing plants, in my opinion. So yeah, I will definitely be letting you guys know if this plant does decide to bloom for me. However, right now I've just been enjoying watching this new growth come in. I'm so grateful that it's growing. It makes me so happy. This is right on my drawers in my bedroom, so I see it every day and get to check on the progress of the leaves. Yeah, so it's just been bringing me a lot of joy this past few weeks. Okay, next we have my love right here. I am so obsessed with this plant, you guys. It's a little bit ridiculous. This is my Philodendron Varicosum, and look at that new leaf. Wait until you see how fuzzy. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe this is the biggest and fuzziest leaf that this plant has put out. So I'm obsessed with this plant at all times. Like, this is one of my top favorite philodendron, but just with the new growth that it's been giving me, that's another new leaf down there on the second vine. I have 2 vines growing on this moss pole. Yeah, so that is the last leaf on the larger vine right there. This plant makes me so happy. Like, I cannot even stress that enough. I love it so much. I check on it every single day with excitement, and especially watching the progress of these leaves come in now that they're getting a little bit more mature. I'm very excited because I'm going to be starting a new plant of this soon. As you guys know, I am air layering it, so I am going to be giving it a chop soon, and I cannot wait because this is going to become the base of a new plant. So the leaves are just going to get larger and more mature from here. And my dream is just to have a large, mature verrucosum, so we're working towards those goals. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the base of the plant when I do that. I still have to decide what I'm really gonna be doing, but all I know is I will be chopping it and starting another plant. I did the other day. Okay, so I have this top vine, which is the one that I am propagating, but then I also have this secondary vine, which is just a little bit smaller, shorter, less mature, and the aerial roots were trying to get into the moss, but the plastic was in the way, so I actually cut a hole and stuck these aerials in, so now they're kind of both rooting into where I'm air layering here, into this moss. I thought that I was being smart, that was a good idea, so I'm excited to see. I just did this yesterday, I think, so I'm excited to see if the roots actually start growing into that moss. I mean, I'm sure they will. I don't know why they wouldn't. This leaf wasn't out yet when I did the air layering, so that's why I didn't include that vine in there at the time, but now it's just kind of making its way in, so yeah. When I chop this up, I will of course be filming it. We will do it together, so yeah, I don't know when that's gonna be. I mean, probably in like a month or so, I'm gonna guess. But yeah, definitely just an all-time favorite plant in general, but I just had to include it in this video because of the new leaves that are coming out. It's so beautiful. Okay, you guys, next we have my girl right here, my Hoya Crimson Queen. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to back up on my chair because she's too big to fit into the frame. I'm not gonna be able to fit her in the whole frame, but she's absolutely massive. Yes. Isn't she magnificent? Now the reason that she is on my favorites, she's a forever fave, okay? I've had her for years. I love her so much, but the reason I am especially appreciating her lately is because she is waking up for spring and giving me some new growth. So look at those incredible pink leaves right there. She has some smaller ones coming up on the vine here too. I'll never get over this plant. I'll never get over it. And is it just me, or are these massive? Like, look at how massive. This isn't even like fully hardened off yet, and it's huge. Oh, it's just so beautiful. So with this type of Hoya, with both the Crimson Queen and the Crimson Princess, they put out this pink and green leaf, and then over time the pink fades to the cream. So it's just so beautiful to witness the whole process of that. I love this plant so much. I appreciate her like crazy. Look at the vine she's putting out. Like, Oh my goodness, she even has like little tiny leaves starting on the end of the vine there, and she's also putting out another vine right here. I am just really, really hoping that she blooms for me this year. I know I've said this before. She's just massive. Like, this vine is thick, you guys. Seriously, it's quite thick. I'm trying to see if she has any peduncles. Look at all these white leaves. Oh my goodness, like how is she even real? Yeah, I'm definitely going to be on peduncle watch for her. There's one right here, you guys. There is one right here. That's a weird spot for it. It's like at the end. It's really weird spot for it. Right there. But it doesn't look like it's like active or anything. Anyways, yeah, just love her so much. She does this every spring where she starts putting out new growth and just gets a little bit happier. We love her. Hoya Crimson Queen. Okay, so the next plant that I've been absolutely loving lately is my beautiful Philodendron Florida Ghost. Look at that coloring. Like, this Florida Ghost is just absolutely perfect to me. Yeah, I just love this plant so stinking much. This is the newest leaf, as you can see. That's the most mature. This is a young plant. I did grow this from a wet stick, but yeah, I'm finally getting, you know, a more interesting leaf shape. I love this like minty kind of look she has going on. This plant is in pon, and yes, it is wearing a sock to prevent algae, and I wanted to show you guys how well this is working for me because I'm obsessed. I'm out here about to put socks on all my plants. Okay, ready? Ta-da! She looks amazing! There is no algae to be seen. None. Like, oh, that just worked so well, and I feel so much better about pon now with that method. Look at the roots. We repotted her not long ago, so these are all like fresh roots that you can see along the side of the cup here. I will be honest, I hadn't been paying a lot of attention to her, and I think part of the reason for that is because she is in pon and it's very low maintenance. I just add water every so often. But recently she's just been catching my eye a lot more. I love the coloring. Philodendron Florida Ghost is like an oldie but a goodie, you know? Like, these will always be a great plant to have and to grow, in my opinion. I have had my ups and downs with them in the past, with the variegation like being too white and not turning green, or just being green and not turning white, so they can be a little bit finicky. But once you nail their conditions, like, they're so easy to care for, so beautiful, resilient. This plant, I don't even think I treated it for thrips during that whole outbreak, and it was on the same shelf as a lot of plants with thrips, and for some reason it just didn't get them. So I don't know, like, you go girl. She out here doing the most. Yeah, she's just so stinking cute. I'm obsessed. I hope that you guys enjoy her too, because I have a feeling I'm going to be sharing more updates about her, especially as she starts growing more. And I'm also inspired to try putting more plants in pon now, especially since I've discovered this sock thing. I actually did, in one of my Patreon videos, I recently potted a Monstera standoliana cutting into pon, and I've never had a Monstera in pon before, I don't think, and I hadn't really put any new plants in pon for quite some time, and it's already pushing out new roots, and I did that honestly not too long ago. So yeah, I'm feeling like re-inspired with pon. Anyways, it looks like she is actually going to be putting out a new leaf sometime soon as well, if you look there. Okay, last plant. Okay, yes, it is my Monstera Albo, and if you follow me on Instagram, then you've probably seen this plant a lot recently because I've been doing pretty much daily updates on Instagram stories. So if you don't follow me there then, and you want to see how my plants are doing, then give me a follow. But yes, I had to put my Monstera Albo in here. I couldn't not, and the reason that she is in my favorites is because she is putting out a new leaf, and I'm so excited about it. It's honestly like an event in my home when either this or the Thai constellation are putting out a new leaf. It's just so fun to watch the process of it emerging and then to see what type of variegation it ends up with. It's just so fun. I love it so much. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of updates on Instagram of this leaf. I was so excited to see it come out. This plant has been growing freaking fast over the past few months, you guys, and I attribute that to my Plant Spectrum grow light and also this moss pole. Like, she's definitely happy climbing. But yeah, love this plant so much. Of course, both of my variegated Monstera are like forever favorites as well. But this one, it's just, I feel like we've been on a journey, not the same journey as the Thai constellation and I have been on, but it just didn't look great. And this is purchased as a cutting that honestly just looked kind of subpar, but it's just what we could afford at the time. Shane actually bought this for me. Is it almost 2 years ago now? Almost 2 years ago. That's so crazy. Anyways, the cutting didn't look phenomenal, so it's just been so rewarding to watch it grow into something that does look like exactly what I wanted. Like, look at her marbling variegation. So freaking beautiful. I love her so much. Look at that leaf. So pretty. I really do think that Monstera Albo is a plant that really can change a lot with time, and even if you have a plant that doesn't look incredible or the variegation isn't very high, I really do think that it can transform a lot, and I've seen that a lot. I've seen people post a lot of before and afters. So do not lose hope if yours is not where you want it to be yet. Anyways, that's my Albo pep talk. Alright, so like I said, I did want to start including just some plant supplies in with these monthly favorite videos just to show you guys some things that I've really been loving and that have been working really well for me. Okay, so the first one I did already mention, and it is the Orchid Plant Food Mist. So this is the one that I've been using. There's probably other orchid mists that work just the same, but this is just kind of like the popular one. You can find this at most places that sell plants. I think I also have it linked in my Amazon storefront as well. I don't know why this is a thing that seems to work so well for Hoya, but it seems to work. I used to use this years ago and then I kind of fell off the train, and now that I've started up again within the past few weeks, my Hoya have been waking up, and I really do think that this has been making an impact on that. I swear that shepherdii started waking up like 5 days after I sprayed it with this, so I'm gonna keep using it. I will let you guys know how it goes, but so far I'm friggin' loving it, and I'm so excited to see what my Hoya do this spring and summer. And then the second planty item is very basic, but it is just my squirt bottle. This is such an underrated planty tool. I've had these for probably a year, but I should have bought this like 3 years ago because it's so handy for multiple different things. First of all, it's like the perfect way to fill up your propagations. I just walk around my house like for my water propagation, or even you can wet sphagnum, you can do everything with this. But I just walk around my house and I can just give a squirt to whoever needs it to top up any propagations. I also use this is what I've been using this mostly for lately, and it's been super convenient for wetting my moss poles. It's really great for wetting your moss poles in a controlled way, because if you get in there with the mister, which I do love my electric mister, but this is like a different purpose. This is what I use when I'm just walking around my house. I need to water my moss poles without getting water like all over my house. I can just squirt this. It's very controlled. It wets just where I want it to wet. So I find it so handy for that. I've also been mixing up, you can see it's kind of like discolored, and that's because I've been putting fertilizer water in this, because I'm starting to incorporate putting fertilizer water into my moss poles for the aerial roots to take up. But yeah, this is great. Even if my plants just need like a touch up of water, I'll use this as well when I'm walking around. It just makes my like morning plant check-in routine so much easier. I think it's fantastic. I don't know where you can probably buy these at a lot of places in person, but I just ordered this from Amazon. I do believe it's in my Amazon storefront as well in a set of 3. But yeah, honestly, life-changing. Alright, you guys, thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of my plant favorites. Once again, thank you so much to Klima for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check them out. Again, the link will be in the description box. Leave me a comment as well. I would love to chat with you guys. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye!